So, as I said earlier, we need to start thinking differently, right from the scratch. If we want to improve health and safety, it's not about adding more. It's not about adding more permits or systems and processes. It's how do we think about things? How do we engage with people? How do we actually get to the most valuable resource that we've got? The most valuable resource we've got is the people that work for us. Without them, if they weren't there, you've just got an empty construction site with lots of plant on it not doing anything. Or you have an empty factory with lots of machines in it not actually doing anything. You need the most valuable resource. So we need to start with a new goal. And there's two types of goals we can go for. We can go for away from goals, which is what we've been doing in the preventative era, as in no accidents, or we can work towards goals. And there's a big difference in energy between the two. See, with an away from goal, you're trying to prevent something and you get lots of good momentum to go with, but it dies very quickly. The energy gets sapped and it goes away. With towards, it's about creating a compelling vision that people can actually buy into, that people are compelled to actually work differently. And even down to this with the towards bit, I mean, most people here, you've all heard of SMART goals before? Yeah? Okay. How many people here now know what the T for in SMART stands for? Towards. The SMART goals are towards, and yet we're working away from. We're saying we're smart by doing away from goals. Let me give you a little bit of a different idea with this. Basically, on most projects at the moment, happens like a sine wave, where it's either a new project or after an accident. So after an accident or a new project, what goals do we have? Yeah, that's right. No incidents, no accidents. Yeah, what other goals do we have? Zero harm? Yeah, no. What does zero harm mean to you? No accidents. Target zero? Yeah, so what does target zero mean to you? No accidents. So it's always no accidents. Now, in theory, that's a good target. On paper, it looks right, no accidents. We don't want anyone to get hurt. And it's brilliant, and it's a great place to start from. And it's what we've been doing for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. However, it starts off really well, because after a brand new site or after an accident, what happens is everyone's really keen to make a difference, and they do the inductions properly, they do the RAMs properly, they're doing training properly, toolbox talks properly, they're doing observation reports, they're doing all sorts of things, and after about a 3-month period, they're normally at this point here, with no accidents. Then what happens? Switch off, because it's an away from goal. It's run out of energy. You switch off and the standards start to slip. So what happens is a pre-task brief gets made up by the supervisor and everyone signs onto it in the canteen. No one's looked at the risks. Safety observation reports are sometimes made up. I'm not saying any of you do that, but some are made up to meet KPIs. RAMs. What about the RAMs? Only the other week, I was having to review a set of RAMs. I'm not being funny, they were 80 pages long. And nowhere in that 80 pages did they tell me what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, where they were going to do it, which I kind of thought was the idea behind it. It looked very glossy, but basically they've ticked the box of compliance, and here we go. It's just all there. No one's ever going to read it. No one's following it. I rejected it. I just want a short, sharp, tell me what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and let's move forward. So I think that the response I gave to the manager that actually sent them to me, I said, look, if you want your guys to take safety seriously, you've got to start by taking it seriously. And in fairness, he listened, and things have changed. But what else happens? Training nowadays. What about training? I think training mainly is for certificates nowadays and not competency. I mean, people put you in a room for 3-4 hours, or like this, we're here for 2 days, and they expect you to come out of it knowing exactly what to do and being competent. It's absolutely crazy. That's expecting someone to go into a gym for 4 hours and expect them to come out fit. It just doesn't work. So the idea of these 2 days with proper training is we're going to introduce you to the whole concept of what creating a positive culture is. We're going to introduce you to all the tools and techniques all the mindsets, most importantly the mindsets of what we need to achieve much better results than what we're getting. And it's all possible. Then we start the 12-month program, 12-month coaching. Actually, you need an external coach, be one of my team that will come and work with you every single month to work on the new skills you're trying. Because without that, within 3 weeks, you're going to go back to the way you were, and then you're going to say the course didn't work. The course does work. We all now have to do the work. So let's say the first thing we need to do is start by looking at the psychology and actually change what we want. So instead of going from away from goals, we need to start working towards. And that's what creating positive culture is. And here's what happens with the results. You're going to have the odd blips. You're going to have the odd learning curves. You're going to make mistakes. We're human beings. But when we're constantly moving towards what we want, we will eventually get there. And so far, in every project we've worked on in the last 16 years, they've reduced their accidents by a minimum of 52%. In some places, 72%. And that's not really the interesting bit. I mean, the 72%, they saved them £3.2 million per year. And they've been doing it now for over 10 years. And what they really noticed was after 2 years, they noticed all the accidents had gone, but 2 years down the line, they actually realised that the staff morale had gone up, that the rework had gone down, the right first time had gone up, the sick days had gone down. It wasn't just about the statistics on accidents, it was the whole workforce creating a positive culture.